The Rigelian Imperium, an ancient civilization forged in the fires of countless conquests, found humanity at the edge of their expansion. From the bridge of the research vessel, Stardust, Dr. Aris Vance watched the colossal Rigelian battleship, indomitable, loom in their viewscreen. Its armored hull, a testament to millennia of unyielding tradition, dwarfed the Stardust like a pebble beside a mountain. This was first contact, not with a handshake, but with a declaration of dominance. Commandant Vorlag, a creature of plated chitin and rasping speech, projected his image onto the Stardust's bridge. Primitives, your crude vessel trespasses on Rigelian-claimed space. State your purpose, or be annihilated. Dr. Vance, a scientist whose hands bore the subtle scars of a combat engineer, simply adjusted his glasses. We are the human research vessel Stardust, exploring uncharted sectors. There is no claim here but the stars themselves. Vorlag's mandibles clicked in amusement. Such defiance from a species that still employs chemical propellants for interstellar travel. Surrender your vessel, your technology, and your people, and perhaps we shall allow you to serve the Imperium. Captain Alara Ron, standing beside Vance, gripped her console. We do not surrender, Vorlag merely scoffed. Then you shall be erased from existence. A simple matter. Before the Indomitable could power its main weapons, Dr. Vance initiated their defensive protocol. Instead of raising shields, the Stardust shimmered. Not with energy, but with a subtle distortion of local space. The Rigelian battleship's targeting systems, designed for conventional threats, flared in confusion. Lasers, meant to vaporize the human ship, bent around it, harmlessly striking empty void. Commandant Vorlag roared his frustration. What trickery is this? Fire! Overload the emitters! Volleys of plasma bolts screamed towards the Stardust, but each one veered wildly, twisting away, as if repelled by an invisible, fluid wall. Dr. Vance, calm amidst the chaos, explained to his bewildered crew, "We're not deflecting energy. We're subtly reshaping the quantum field around us, making it impossible for their targeting computers to lock on. It's not a shield. It's a mathematical impossibility for their sensors." The Rigelian commandant, accustomed only to direct force, could not comprehend a defense that wasn't a solid barrier. After 10 minutes of futile assault, the Indomitable unexpectedly broke off, its traditionalist mind unable to process the anomaly. Vorlag's final, crackling transmission was laced with contempt. This is not a battle. This is an anomaly. We will return. And next time, we will bring sufficient force to eradicate your trickery. Weeks later, Supreme Commandant Cathar of the Rigelian Imperium stood before the Grand Stratagem, a holographic star map gleaming before him. The first contact had been an embarrassment. A single human vessel had humiliated one of their battleships. Now, a full subjugation fleet, 30 warships strong, stood ready to annihilate the Stardust and claim Earth. These humans are insolent, Cathar rasped, his chitinous hand sweeping across the map. Their so-called defense was a nuisance, not a threat. We shall overwhelm them with sheer, unyielding force. Rigelian's strategy was simple. Numerical superiority, overwhelming firepower, and unshakable discipline. They had perfected it over millennia, conquering hundreds of systems. No species had ever resisted their full might. They believed humanity was a young, naive species, playing with toys they barely understood. On the Stardust, now orbiting a barren moon, Dr. Vance oversaw the final modifications. They weren't building new weapons. They were refitting the vessel's experimental gravitic manipulators, designed for atmospheric terraforming and orbital debris clearing. Their strategy is pure kinetics and brute force, Captain Ron, Vance explained. They rely on the structural integrity of their ships and the predictable trajectory of their projectiles. Our advantage isn't firepower, it's understanding the fabric of space itself. Captain Ron, ever the pragmatist, raised an eyebrow. You're going to defeat 30 warships with glorified construction tools. Vance permitted himself a rare smile. Not construction tools, Captain. We're going to teach them a fundamental lesson in structural dynamics. And for the record, these tools were designed to fold tectonic plates and reshape planetary crusts. The Rigelian fleet emerged from hyperspace a week later, a terrifying wall of ancient, angular warships. Their comms channels immediately blared an ultimatum: surrender or be scourged. Supreme Commandant Cathar, watching from his flagship, Annihilator, felt a grim satisfaction. This was how true power asserted itself. Open fire, he commanded, full saturation bombardment. As the first Rigelian ships began their attack run, the Stardust made its move. Not a shield, not a weapon blast. Instead, a series of precisely timed, extremely localized gravitic pulses erupted from the human vessel. They were invisible, silent, and entirely alien to Rigelian sensors. On the bridge of the lead Rigelian destroyer, Commandant Zerel screamed in confusion. "My ship, it's folding." The vessel's hull, designed to withstand unimaginable forces, began to ripple. Not explode, not shatter, but simply fold asterisk, like paper being creased by an unseen hand. Bulkheads buckled inward, armor plates curled like dried leaves, and internal systems compressed into impossible geometries. The ship's internal gravitic stabilizers, built only to counter external forces, were useless against this internal manipulation. Lights flickered, alarms shrieked, and then the destroyer simply collapsed in on itself, becoming a compressed, impossible knot of metal and electronics. It wasn't destroyed, it was asterisk rearranged asterisk. Panic rippled through the Rigelian fleet. Another ship, then another, began to distort. One cruiser's entire starboard side wrinkled like crushed foil. A battleship's command tower slowly, silently, sank into its own superstructure, swallowed by the collapsing hull. The human ship wasn't firing weapons. It was simply reshaping asterisk them. Supreme Commandant Cathar watched in horror. His fleet, designed to resist any explosive force, any projectile, any laser, was utterly defenseless against a foe that treated their mighty warships like origami. "What is this sorcery?" he rasped, fear finally creeping into his ancient voice. His tactical display showed multiple Rigelian vessels rendered completely inert, their crews trapped inside structurally compromised husks. They weren't dead, but they were utterly defeated. Dr. Vance's voice, calm and clear, cut through the Rigelian comms network. "Supreme Commandant Cathar, this is Dr. Aris Vance of the human vessel Stardust. Your fleet is no longer combat effective. We have disabled 30 vessels without a single hostile act of destruction. We are not interested in war, Commandant. We are interested in peace, but we will defend ourselves with capabilities you cannot comprehend. You may retreat. We offer medical assistance to any Rigelian crew trapped aboard disabled vessels. We are sending rescue drones now. Cathar stared at the human on his screen, a species he had dismissed as primitive. They had shattered his entire fleet, not with brute force, but with a terrifying, precise elegance he could never have imagined. And then they offered aid. The Rigelian Imperium retreated. The story of the folding fleet spread through the galaxy, whispered from starport to starport. It was said that humans didn't fight wars. They simply redefined reality. Commandant Cathar, humbled, initiated diplomatic channels. He had learned that human technological superiority wasn't about bigger guns, but about a fundamentally different way of thinking. They approached problems not with more force, but with more understanding. It was a hard one, but one that changed the Rigelian Imperium forever. Humanity, the underestimated young species, had shown the galaxy that true power lay not in destruction, but in the capacity to reshape the very fabric of existence, and then to offer a helping hand.